With Protect Our Aquifer is here now to talk about the nonprofit, what it does, and concerns it has about xAI and other matters. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Joe, for having me. Excited to be here.
It's great to be here. So across America, aquifers are in decline, dangerous decline in many places, but as far as we know, not here in Memphis and Shelby County. Our aquifer is in relatively good shape, right?
It's true, yeah. There's been spots where the aquifer has actually dropped up to 125 feet. Means shallow water's getting in, but we still have lots of water and the good stuff is still here.
All right, so Protect Our Aquifer. The mission is in the name,
exactly.
Right? And so it's easy to understand. Why is this work so important?
Yeah, you know, we have this unseen, amazing resource below our feet. We've been using it for 140 years, and we are the largest city in the country that relies 100% on groundwater. And we have no management plan, we have no major oversight, and our organization wants to be able to address threats today, but also think about the future and what does it mean to have clean drinking water far, far into the future.
Well, I'm glad you said all that, because I'm going to skip to my sixth question instead of the others and talk about the Groundwater Control Board. This is an obscure board that exists here in Shelby County, and it has appointed representatives from each of the municipalities. It has an engineer. It has a water driller.
A well driller.
A well driller. That's right, a well driller on the board. You know, you're in this game here. Is this board protecting our aquifer at the level it should?
Unfortunately, at this moment, no. You know, this is a board that has really acted kind of as an appeals board. When somebody wants to drill a well, their application gets denied, they can appeal to this board and they'll hear the case. But they have powers on paper that are much broader. They can think about wellhead protection and spill prevention and the big picture that we need them to. So right now, there's very little funding, very little support, and those are some of the puzzle pieces that Protect Our Aquifer is bringing to ensure this board can actually stand up to its charge and be community-led and community-informed.
So what is the strategic plan to protect our aquifer?
It doesn't exist right now, Joe. There is no strategic plan. But we do have in the ordinance that was written back in the late 1980s is the opportunity for a groundwater protection plan. And so that is something that Protect Our Aquifer has been working to build a guidance document to build some understanding of what that looks like. We aren't the only aquifer across the country, and so what are other places doing well, and what can we do here in Memphis that fits our needs? And so this is an effort that we're starting to push towards, and we're hearing more and more support for it from County Commission and from the board itself. So it's the beginning of a long, long journey, but we desperately need that water strategic plan.
Well, this water is God's gift. It's Mother Nature's gift. It's whatever you want to say. It is an incredible natural resource that we have, and the envy of communities all across the world.
Absolutely.
When they find out just how much water we have right under our feet, they're impressed and they're envious.
Don't tell them.
We try not to tell them. Well, Elon Musk's supercomputer called Colossus is currently operating, and they are using a system. They have a permit pending before the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation that would allow a wastewater recycling facility to produce water to cool the supercomputer. What is the nonprofit's view of that?
We are actually excited to see that take shape. You know, this is an effort that Protect Our Aquifer has supported since our day one inception nearly 10 years ago, specifically for TVA though. Tennessee Valley Authority is MLGW's largest water customer and pumps a lot of water from our aquifer. xAI is built right across the street. And so they came out almost within days of the announcement saying they were going to build this recycled wastewater plant. We say, okay, prove it. And we're seeing steps towards that actually coming to reality. So we're still supportive of that, ensuring that TVA is a part of the solution also.
And TVA is right there, and they are also going to use this wastewater that's being recycled when the plant is built. But right now, the xAI currently cools the Colossus by a closed-loop water recycling system that reportedly uses about 11,000 gallons of water a day, which really, when you think about it, is not as much as you might expect them to use.
Exactly.
And so have you been pleasantly surprised by that?
Yes, initially it was reported that they were eating about 1 million gallons of water per day, and then it scaled all the way up to 5 million gallons of water per day. And that is the estimated need when this other recycled water plant comes online. But this closed loop, cooled chiller system they have now, it's great to keep that water demand low, but it's very energy intensive and it's very challenging to maintain. And we know that energy generation is a huge issue with data centers, so we don't need more power demand. So this is great that they're using this as a short-term situation for water, but in the long term, recycling our wastewater, we're already used it, it would go into the Mississippi River otherwise. That's the real solution for the first facility. The second facility in Whitehaven, that we still are unsure of the water source, and that could still have a big aquifer impact.
All right, Sarah Houston of Protect Our Aquifer, thank you very much. And we'll be watching very carefully on the strategic plan to protect our groundwater, which is this great natural resources that we have to protect for our children and our great-grandchildren and generations to come.
Absolutely.
So thanks for being here.
And we're going to have an Aquifer Action meeting on June 24th. So the community can come out, learn about this permit you just spoke of, learn about xAI's water use, and get folks informed so they can make comments to TDEC about this very project. So come on out to the Whitehaven Library, June 24th, 4:30 p.m. and 6 p.m.
Wow, you got all the times and dates set. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Sarah.
Thank you so much, Joe.